Get burned.
How's it going, everyone? This is Trixx from MetaTrixx, and welcome to part 2 of 10 movements every Smash player should know. In part 1, we covered 10 beginner movements. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at 10 intermediate movements, but also we're going to be looking at advanced and pro level movements in the future. So if that's something that interests you, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be keeping the introduction brief, so with all that being said, let's jump into it right now. So in part 1 of the guide, we talked about the neutral getup, but I'm sure there are many of you that thought to yourselves, why don't you just tech to stand up as quick as possible? And so, number 1 is going to be how to tech. When you are knocked away from your opponent and put into tumble, there are certain situations where you don't have the ability to jump or throw out an attack to make sure that you don't land on your back. The action of doing a quick handspring and standing up immediately is called a tech, and this can be performed by pressing the shield button the moment that your character touches a surface. But there is a trick to it. If you mash the shield button, you will actually miss your tech, and this means that you do have to time your input. Along with that, you also have the ability to input a direction to get a tech roll towards or away from your opponent. But most importantly, the key to teching is good timing. Number 2 is how to shield tilt. If you hold shield and very slightly rotate your control stick, you can tilt your shield. However, if you rotate the control stick quickly, you'll end up misinputting and rolling and spot dodging all over the place. The correct way to shield tilt is to hold shield and the B button at the same time. This will allow you to tilt your shield without accidentally rolling or spot dodging. Number 3 is how to space grounded moves correctly. If you've been playing Smash Ultimate for a little bit, you may have heard the term spacing in regards to good or even bad spacing. There are certain moves in the game that are technically unsafe on shield. However, with good spacing, they are in fact safe on shield against certain moves. So whenever possible, we want to be intentional with our spacing to ensure that we are not getting punished. With good spacing, we can actually bait out punishes and then get a stronger punish or even take a stock ourselves. To avoid bad spacing like this, try anticipating throwing out your attacks a little bit earlier. By doing so, you'll be able to maximize your character's range and keep yourself safe during neutral interactions. Number 4 is spacing our aerials. By inputting our aerials with the C stick, we can drift back with the control stick and make sure that our character's model does not land on our opponent, which protects us from hard punishes. Number 5 is understanding aerials that are actually safe on shield. Every aerial can be performed safely and also unsafely. In many cases, an aerial can be made safe by doing a short hop and then landing with the aerial and allowing the ground to cancel the end leg animation. In this example here, Roy is still doing a back air, but since he's doing it rising, he's trapped in the animation until he touches the ground, making it unsafe. Not all aerials are considered to be equally safe. However, if a move is -6 or lower, it is considered to be safe on shield. For more information about that, you can check out ultimateframedata.com. But to keep things simple for now, if it's under -6, it is deemed safe, and if it's over -6, it is deemed unsafe. Number 6 is the Tomahawk Grab. A Tomahawk Grab simply means to do an empty hop and then grab your opponent once you touch the ground. This is a mix-up that works even at top level play because the opponent is anticipating and expecting a hit on shield, and since you don't give them the satisfaction, they stay in shield and allow themselves to get grabbed. Number 7 is how to up B out of shield. If you are pressing B while in shield, or even tilting your control stick up while in shield, you will not perform an up B out of shield. In order to up B out of shield, you actually have to treat it like a smash attack. You must press up and B at the exact same time. You can also perform a turnaround up B out of shield by pressing up in the opposite direction in which your character is facing. This can be great for punishing enemies who land on the back of your shield. It's also very important to note that you do not have to let go of the shield button in order to up B out of shield. And I'm sure I'm going to get many questions about this in the comments, so I think I'll address this right now. The same rules apply for a up smash out of shield. You cannot press A and then up on the control stick to get an up smash. Rather, all the inputs have to be pressed at the exact same time. Also, there is no such thing as a turnaround up smash out of shield. This is why in many cases a turnaround up B or a nair out of shield is your best option. Number 8 is using your air dodge as a recovery option. It's a pretty well known fact that if you directional air dodge too low off stage, you will self-destruct. However, there are many instances where a directional air dodge is one of the only ways that your character can make it back to the stage. Without using your directional air dodge, you might find yourself getting gimped in situations where you could have actually survived. So if you find yourself off stage, try air dodging up and towards the stage to almost have a third jump in the air. For some characters such as Roy, Ganon, or Little Mac, this might be the only way to make it back to the stage since their recovery is so poor. Another location where air dodges are extremely applicable is surviving up in the corners of the blast zone. Using your directional air dodge up can halt your momentum and take you out of tumble, which will then give you the ability to fast fall your recovery and also save your jump for mix-ups. And finally, one of the last ways you can use your air dodge to recover is to air dodge to the ledge rather than using your up B to snap to ledge. Certain characters with long startup animations on their up B, such as Fox, Falco, or Lucario, can really exploit this to allow themselves to recover safely to the ledge much quicker. It's also worth noting that not all air dodges are created equal. Some characters have extreme range on their air dodges, while others fall like a rock. So experiment with your character and start adding air dodge recoveries into your gameplay. Number 9 is how to perform an aerial from the ledge. Performing an aerial from the ledge allows you to add another layer of mix-up to your recovery game. Certain characters such as Samus or Incineroar can also abuse the fact that they have extremely powerful specials so they can get into their mix while recovering, making them a massive threat while on the ledge. In order to do an aerial from ledge, we first have to let go of the ledge. However, we want to avoid fast falling from the ledge by pressing down, and rather press back on the control stick to fall at a normal speed. As soon as we fall from the ledge, we want to double jump and hold forward and then input an aerial with our C stick. And number 10 is how to wall jump. Certain characters, such as Roy, do not have a wall jump. And this is important to take note of because many characters in the game do not have wall jumps. However, if your character happens to have a wall jump, this is how you perform one. The first thing you want to do is press and hold towards the wall while in a falling animation. Once you are as close to the wall as possible, you want to press away from the wall with your control stick to do your wall jump. And to be perfectly clear, you do not need to press the jump button a second time to perform your wall jump. If you press away from the wall and your jump in the air, there's a very strong chance that you will either not double jump at all, or you will in fact waste your double jump. In this example right here, you can see me press away from the wall to initiate the wall jump and then immediately double jump. This is a huge mistake you want to avoid. And on top of that, if you happen to press your double jump before you wall jump, you will actually not get a wall jump at all. And also, it's important to note that you have the ability to perform a wall jump after using your double jump as well. So feel free to get creative with your mix-ups. If you enjoyed the video and you learned something new, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I'm also going to be dropping an advanced and pro level movement guide in the future. Once again, this is Trixx from MetaTrixx saying thanks for watching.